A couple of things. I want to go over this one point here real quick because I see a lot of people, having a little some questions about it. An unordered list naturally is a block element by default, right? A list item by default is a block element. An anchor link, an A tag, whatever you want to call it, by default is an inline element. So when we do the padding, there's no line breaks in between inline elements, right? So they can overlap each other. So that's why we had to say display block when we were giving this anchor tag padding, or it would have just stayed at the top of the screen. All right? So you can look up which ones are block. For most of them are block elements. The only ones that are inline are that you're going to use a lot of are anchor tags, images, inputs within the form, and then the rest are more like stylistic, or at least they used to be used more as stylistic.
Sorry, why would inline though, if you're saying inline, if you kept it inline and you added padding, it would stay at the top. Why?
Because, okay, with inline elements, there's no line break in between them naturally, right? That's what makes it a block element, that there's a line break, right? That's one of the characteristics. Remember when we did the line height the other day, and I showed you how there's no line break, so they can overlap each other, like the words can overlap each other? Remember that the other day? So that's what happens when you do the padding up top. Like, it doesn't push itself from the top of the screen. It just kind of overlaps it, almost like it's going off the screen, right? There's no vertical justification with inline elements. All right, so the challenge was to take this and give it a green background and white coloring whenever you scrolled over it. Nice and easy. We want to take whenever the anchor link within the list is scrolled over, we give it the color of 5 FC F80, and then we want to give the text color of white, right? Simple as that. If I do it right. All right, makes sense to everybody? The hover, nice and easy. All right, so I guess that was challenge 3. All right, so this challenge is a little more difficult here, courtesy of Todd, so you can give him your regards. What I want you to do is once this gets into a mobile display, let me bring up inspect element. And let me, for visualization purposes. All right, so once this gets less than 768 pixels, once it gets into the mobile display range, I want these list items here. See these list items? I want them to drop down and display vertically across. So like features has its own line, stories has its own line, price has its own line, sign in, free trial, they each have their own line. Yep, exactly. Stack one on top of the other. When it gets less than 768 pixels. Okay? So the media query, to make it less than 768 pixels, right?